This is At the Public Library, the video source for news and information about the San Francisco Public Library system. This month's show features information on where to pick up state and federal tax forms, listings of Black History Month programs and celebrations taking place this month at several neighborhood branch libraries, and an introduction of the new Library Commission members that were recently appointed by Mayor Willie Brown, as well as listings of other programs and events for children, teens, and adults, all at the public library. Here's a handy reminder for San Francisco Public Library patrons. Telephone renewal service is available by calling 557-4511 from 6 a.m. to midnight. You must have a touch-tone phone to access the telephone renewal service, which allows patrons to renew up to 9 books, check the status of reserved books, and inquire about overdue fines. So the next time you need to renew a library book, call the telephone renewal service at 557-4511.
The San Francisco Public Library celebrates Black History Month with an exceptional slate of programs at the branches. The annual Unsung Hero Awards program will be held at the Western Addition Branch Library for the 8th consecutive year. Each year, awards are presented to 10 individuals who enrich the lives of others in the African American community. The program takes place on Sunday, February 25th at 3 p.m. and includes entertainment and a reception. Also celebrating Black History Month, Word for Word presents a dramatic rendering of Langston Hughes' story, The Blues I'm Playing, directed by Ellen Sebastian. Word for Word will be at the Bernal Heights branch on Saturday, February 24th at 4 p.m. The Bayview Anna E. Wadden branch on February 28th at 7:30 p.m. and the Park branch on March 2nd at 3 p.m. On February 26th, the Sunset Branch Library presents a special Black History Month evening film program. Black History, Lost, Stolen, or Strayed is an Emmy Award-winning CBS documentary narrated by Bill Cosby.
Is this TV signal driving through a pass in the Sierra Nevada mountains and slipping into San Francisco? Okay, well, I want to thank you, Jim Beckworth. Jim Beckworth out of St. Louis, hunter, trapper, and honorary chief of the Crow tribe of Indians. We had trouble finding you, Jim. Though you helped open the West, you didn't make the books. Chicago, right here, where the Wrigley building is. Young fellow by the name of Jean-Baptiste de Sable. Jean Baptiste. He founded Chicago, when he traded with the Indians. And of course, there it is right there at that particular time. It was called Chicago or Stinking Onion by the Indians. And de Sable, he didn't even change the name at all. Now you take the Lewis and Clark expedition here, right in there. You'll find a black man named York helping to open the West. Those men are trying to wash the black out of York. That's what you might call historically significant, because a lot of people think we ought to wash white, but we ain't gonna, you see. Texas.
That's the Sunset Branch Black History Month film program, featuring Black History, Lost, Stolen, or Strayed, on Monday, February 26th at 7 p.m. The library is also presenting Black History Month events for children at many of the branches, including the Ingleside branch on Tuesday, February 6th at 10 a.m., a Black History Month celebration with Karen McKee, dollmaker and storyteller. On February 7th, the Presidio branch presents Jeff Norell, master steel drum musician. February 10th, at the West Portal branch, Dance Kaiso performs African Caribbean dance and drumming. Also on the 10th at 4 p.m. at the Potrero branch, Dance Kaiso with African Caribbean dance and drumming. On February 14th, the Marina branch celebrates Black History Month with Jeff Norell, master steel drummer. On February 17th at 11 a.m., Yolanda Rhodes will tell African American stories at the Merced Branch Library. At 1 p.m. on the 17th, Dance Kaiso performs African Caribbean dance and drumming at the Mission Branch Library. And at 2 p.m. on the 17th, the Glen Park Branch presents Karen McKee, master doll maker and storyteller. Also on February 17th, storyteller, singer, and dancer Yolanda Rhodes performs at the Ocean View Branch at 2 p.m. Ms. Rhodes then moves on to the Western Addition Branch on February 21st at 10:30 a.m. And on February 24th at 1 p.m., she'll be at the Anza Branch Library. On Wednesday, February 28th at 7 p.m., a celebration for children ages 3 to adult, with performances from the Young and Gifted Children's Youth Choir. That's at the Richmond Branch Library, February 28th at 7 p.m. And don't miss the Western Addition Branch Library Open House in celebration of Black History Month. That's Saturday, February 3rd at 2 p.m., with entertainment by Dance Kaiso and the Young and Gifted Choir. There's also going to be an opening of an art exhibit by the Young Artists of Culture on the Corner, with Mel Simmons as the director. Refreshments will be provided by the Delta Sigma Theta sorority and San Francisco Peninsula alumni. That's a Western Addition Branch Library open house on Saturday, February 3rd at 2 p.m.
Dial a Story is a telephone service offering poems, rhymes, riddles, songs, and stories for children. Presented by the Office of Children's Services of the San Francisco Public Library, Dial a Story is offered in 3 languages: English, Spanish, and Cantonese. For English stories, dial 626-6516. For Spanish stories, dial 552-0535. And for Cantonese stories, dial 552-0534. And now, here's a sampling of some Dial a Story fun.
Thank you for calling Dollar Story, presented by Office of Children's Services, San Francisco Public Library. This is a Negro spiritual called This Little Light of Mine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Thank you again for calling Dollar Story, and please hang up the telephone.
It's tax time again. The filing deadline for your 1995 state and federal taxes is Monday, April 15th, 1996. The San Francisco Public Library does not carry either California or federal tax forms. However, you can pick up your California state tax forms at the Franchise Tax Board, located at 50 Fremont Street, on the 9th floor in Suite 900. Mondays through Fridays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Federal tax forms are available at the Federal Office Building at 450 Golden Gate Avenue on the first floor in room 5403, Mondays through Fridays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Or tax forms can be obtained by calling the IRS at 1-800-TAX-FORM. That's 1-800-829-3676. The IRS also offers telephone tax help. Call 1-800-829-1040. For phone help for the hearing impaired, call 1-800-829-4059. This number is answered by TDD equipment only.
And now here's some news and notes of interest about the San Francisco Public Library system. Mayor Willie Brown moved swiftly in naming 6 new commissioners to the 7-member Library Commission last month. And just 2 weeks after his inaugural, Mayor Brown held a huge and happy mass swearing-in ceremony in the Board of Supervisors chambers for the appointees of the library and 6 other city commissions. Fran Streets is the continuing member of the Library Commission and has served on the commission since 1993. Among the 6 new appointees are some familiar faces. Steve Coulter, selected to lead the Library Commission by Mayor Brown, is the Pacific Telesis Vice President of Public Affairs and a past president of the Library Commission from 1988 through 1993. Lonnie Chin, principal of Spring Valley Elementary School, previously served on the Library Commission during the administration of Mayor Agnos. Sherry Agnos, wife of the former mayor and a co-chair of the 1988 bond drive for the new main library, is a first-time member of the panel, as is public defender Ernest Lorente, seen here receiving congratulations from his 2 sons. Also new to the Library Commission is Carol Steinman, a member of the Friends of the Library Board of Directors and a longtime neighborhood library advocate. And Charles Anthony Higueras, an architect who has participated in numerous city advisory committees. According to the city charter, the library commissioners are responsible for setting the policies of the San Francisco Public Library and serve at the pleasure of the mayor. The Library Commission meets monthly and all meetings are open to the public. For more information, phone the Secretary of the Library Commission at 557-4233. Since the 1st of January, when the Old Main Library shut its doors for the last time, Main Library staff have been busy preparing the Main Library collections for their move to the new building. The actual moving of the collection will begin this month and will be completed in April. The new Main Library dedication ceremony will take place on Thursday, April 18th. During the move, all of San Francisco's branch libraries will be open and will continue with their regularly scheduled hours of operation. And there will be some limited main library services available, which will hopefully lessen the inconvenience to main library patrons. The book and AV return drop boxes will be available throughout the move, and librarians will staff an information desk at the front of the main library to assist patrons in locating branch library services and provide information and referrals. The information desk is located just inside the front door of the Old Main and is staffed Monday through Saturday from 12 noon to 2 p.m. and from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. General reference questions will be answered by TIP, the telephone information program, which is available by phoning 557-4400. And limited subject department telephone reference service will be provided by phoning the Art, Music, and Recreation Department at 557-4525, the Business, Science, and Documents Department at 557-4488, and General Collections Humanities at 557-4545, and of course by calling your neighborhood branch library. The very popular investment newsletters and investment advisory services are moving from the Business, Science, and Documents Department into temporary quarters in the basement of the West Portal Branch Library located at 190 Lenox Way. This investment advisory newsletter room will be open from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. Monday through Saturday. The main library's extensive collections of sheet music and automobile and small equipment wiring diagrams will be accessed through requests from the branch libraries. And interlibrary loan requests will now be processed at all branch libraries. Children of the Tenderloin and Civic Center neighborhoods will have access to Children's Library service, as the Children's Bookmobile will stop in front of the Old Main Library on Mondays and Fridays from 4 to 6 p.m. The official library postings of city agency and commission agendas and minutes will move from the Business, Science, and Documents Department to the office of the Library Commission Secretary, located at 45 Hyde Street. Project READ will continue its literacy program throughout the move. Intake of new students, tutor training, and tutoring sessions will continue at 45 Hyde Street and other locations. Call Project READ at 557-4388 for more information. 3.5 months without a main library is certainly going to be an inconvenience to main library patrons, but there's really no way around it. The entire collection of the main library will be packed up, moved, unpacked, and reorganized for the new main. That's over 1 million books, 3 million photographs, 5 million government documents, and thousands of magazines, videos, maps, music scores, and historical artifacts. And to top it off, more than 60,000 new books, 3,500 new videos, and 3,000 new compact discs will be added to the main library's collection and will be available when the new main library opens on April 18, 1996. The San Francisco Public Library has many discarded books that are in need of a new home. Discards from branch libraries and the main are all processed through the main library. Until last year, the library was prohibited by city law from giving away any city property, including old books. At the request of the library, the Board of Supervisors made an exception to the law, giving the library permission to give away old books to organizations serving the public. Since then, an estimated 5,000 books have been given away to various community groups, schools, jails, and other nonprofit organizations. Community groups wishing to make an appointment to review the discards may do so by writing a letter to Ken Dowell, City Librarian, San Francisco Public Library, Civic Center, San Francisco, California, 94102, or fax the letter to area code 415-557-4252. All San Francisco public libraries will be closed on Monday, February 19th for the President's Day holiday. And that's news and notes for February. Have a happy Valentine's Day. Friends for Life volunteers bring the riches of the San Francisco Public Library to people who can no longer visit the library themselves. Friends for Life volunteers provide a link between the San Francisco Public Library and people with AIDS or HIV disease. If you would like to be a Friends for Life volunteer, or you are in need of the services Friends for Life provides, call 557-4352 for more information. Hi, I'm David Schwabe for At the Public Library, and today I'm in the offices of the Friends of the San Francisco Public Library, and joining me is Margie O'Driscoll, Director of the Friends of the San Francisco Public Library, and Olive James, Managing Librarian of the Humanities and General Collections Department of the main library. And we've come together today to talk about the Farewell Old Friends postcard project that was sponsored by the Friends of the Library and was a huge success with patrons all over the city. And could you tell us, Marjorie, how the Farewell Old Friends postcard project came about?
Well, one of the things that we had heard in the weeks before the library closed was lots of wonderful stories from patrons and from staff and people in the community about getting their first library card at the main library and how sad they were to see an old friend close. That's tempered, of course, with great excitement about the new building, but we wanted to help people acknowledge the memories that they had of the old building. So what we'd like to do is share some of those memories with you.
And whose idea for the postcard?
I think it's attributed to many people, Friends of the Library, and also to Olive, who brought it to our attention that people would want to have a souvenir of the building as it was closing.
Well, the response was tremendous. Just tons of postcards have come back and let's read some of them and share them with the viewers.
One thing I'd like to mention is we distributed about 20,000 of these postcards to every public school, private school, as well as university libraries, and to our branches. And so we're reading you just a selection of the hundreds of responses that we had back, which you can see in a special display inside the new main library when it opens. This is one of my particular favorites. It's from Sally Kirby. She writes us saying, I met my husband at the Old Main in the fall of 1964. I was doing research on my MA thesis and he was a reference librarian. We met at the card file. He took me out for coffee. We were married the next year and celebrated our 30th anniversary last year.
Wow.
That's wonderful. This one says, when I was a child, my father referred to the main library as the whale and the neighborhood library as the shrimp. On Saturday, he would say, shall we go to the whale or the shrimp today? I suppose today he would say, the whale's closed for a while, let's go to the shrimp. And that's from Sister M. Thomas McGee.
Wow. Here's one. I have many happy memories of working as a page and head page at the main library when I was going through SI High School from 41 until 1945. My experience made me a lover of books. Sincerely, William J. Dunn of San Francisco.
Here's another one that I like, written in very tight handwriting. This is from Valentine Thaser in the Castle Apartments here in San Francisco. On one of the last tours of the cavernous, but somewhat endearing old building, a friend of the library, a lady in a jaunty velvet hat, guided our little group of visitors. She was dressed all in black, in deference to the event perhaps, and went by the name of AJ. She gave an admirable account of the vast reference network and took us into the stacks and down back stairs and into every section, including the comfortable history room. It was a pleasure to find someone who could radiate with such enthusiasm and love for all the good things the library represents. Thank you.
This one is short and poetic. Farewell, old friend, you will be missed by all who've shared your treasure. Gifts you've bestowed on young and old are too great to be measured. That actually is from a board member of the Friends of the Library, Barbara Gabriel Berman.
Oh, that's very nice. This one is the author, he didn't care to list who they were, but it's interesting. I was discouraged by all the negative things happening in the world, crime, violence, poverty. I walked into the library and it was packed with people learning. I felt much better.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Here's a wonderful memory from Marguerite Romanello. So many memories, so many good days and hours. My first trip to the library at the age of 7 with my father, pretending I was a princess descending that grand staircase. Memories of friends working as pages. Memories of days before security gates. And most of all, anticipation of the new library becoming my new friend.
And the last card I want to read holds a photograph, too. It says, I'm about 3 years old in this photo, taken a few decades ago in front of the main library. I don't actually remember my parents taking this picture, but I know that I started using the library at an early age. I guess I was destined to work for SFPL. I'm now a children's librarian at a branch library here in San Francisco. Jen Sawu.
Wow. Yeah, it looks just like her.
It does, doesn't it?
Here's an interesting one. My wife and I met at the as main library employees in 1985. We now have 2 wonderful children and will celebrate 8 years of marriage in April when the new main opens.
That's wonderful.
And that one was sent in by me.
Oh, wonderful, David. It's lovely.
Well, Olive, tell us about what exciting things library patrons will find in the Humanities and General Collections departments of the new main library when it opens.
Well, first, of course, they'll find a wonderful new building, an expansive floor where they'll have access to many more books than they had before. But in addition, there'll be new centers funded by people in the community who cared about their library. For example, there'll be a new gay and lesbian center, a new African American center, Chinese American, etc. There'll be that kind of thing throughout the building. So I think people will really enjoy being here at the public library.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting and very stunning. I can't wait to see what people's reactions are going to be. And what new and exciting things will be going on for the Friends in the new main library?
Well, the Friends will continue with our welcome desk, which serves to supplement the services provided by librarians to help people answer simple questions about where to find things within the library. In addition, we're embarking on a new business venture to raise additional funds for the library, which is to open a gift store inside the main library. It's going to sell a limited supply of books and other materials by San Francisco authors and San Francisco artists. And in addition to that, it'll carry the staples, the things that people need when they come to the library that they don't always remember to bring, like pencils and paper and computer desks. So we hope you'll join us inside when we do our opening for the new store in April of 1996.
And maybe some of our viewers would like to join the Friends. Could you tell how people can join the Friends?
Well, it's a wonderful way to support our library. We have membership at all levels. One of the most popular levels to join is at the $50 level, because people receive what we call a bonus bookstore card, which enables you to receive a 10% discount at most independent bookstores inside San Francisco. So it's a wonderful way, if you're a book lover, to save some money and also help the public library system. In addition to that, we operate a bookstore at Fort Mason, which is open Tuesday through Sunday, 11 to 5, and all sales directly benefit the San Francisco Public Library. So if you have books to donate, please bring them down to our bookstore and come shop there, because it's got the best deals around.
Great. So the Farewell Old Friends postcards will be gathered and put in the San Francisco History Room archive?
There's initially going to be a display of them that the exhibitions program will be mounting, so that people can see both sides of them.
Great. Well, we'll look forward to that. I'd like to thank you both for joining us today on At the Public Library, and see you when the new main library opens.
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you.
Books, check 'em out. Books, check 'em out. Pick up a book. You got a fantasy, imagination can take you to where you wanna be. Are you curious? How can you find out? Books, check 'em out. Books, check 'em out. Read about stars and cars, play electric guitars, or cops that work hard, patrolling the boulevard, the heavyweight champ and as crazy as Bow. Books, check 'em out. Books, check 'em out. At your library.
Come celebrate Chinese New Year at the San Francisco Public Library. Chinese lion dancers from the Jigmo Athletic Association will usher in the Year of the Rat 4694 with celebrations throughout the city. Join in the fun on Saturday, February 3rd at the Mission Branch at 10:30 a.m., the Merced Branch at 12:30 p.m., and the Bayview Wadden Branch at 4 p.m. Chinese New Year celebrations continue on Saturday, February 10th at the Richmond Branch, 10:30 a.m., the Presidio Branch, 11:30 a.m., the Park Branch at 12:30 p.m., the Anza Branch at 1:30 p.m., and the Sunset Branch at 3 p.m. And on Saturday, February 17th, celebrate Chinese New Year's at the Eureka Valley Branch at 1:30 p.m., the Noe Valley Branch at 3 p.m., and the West Portal Branch at 4 p.m. From all of us at the San Francisco Public Library, Gung Hei Fat Choi.
City guides are volunteers who enjoy the city and its stories. Let them share their knowledge and enthusiasm with you on free walking tours of various San Francisco locations. Call 557-4266 for more information on free public tours of San Francisco.
You too can be a friend of the San Francisco Public Library. Join us. For more information, phone the Friends of the San Francisco Public Library at 557-4257.
We'd like to hear what you think of At the Public Library. Please send your comments to San Francisco Public Library, Media Production Services, Civic Center, San Francisco, California, 94102.
You've been watching At the Public Library, here on Cable Channel 54, City Watch. At the Public Library features news and information about the San Francisco Public Library system. And for a printed copy of some of the information in this program, pick up a copy of At the Public Library at your branch or at the main library. Tune in next time for more At the Public Library, and thanks for watching.